Thanks for clicking. You're listening to Time In with yours truly, Tommy Crenshaw. With me, as always, the beekeeping Ricardo Lungus.
Tommy, you know I don't keep bees anymore. What are you talking about? I mean, I did that about 10 years ago. I don't keep bees anymore. You're misinforming the public, Tommy. I used to be into it big, and I was selling the honey, Lungus honey, but I don't do that anymore,
No, I mean, I thought you still did. I know I still got some of your honey at home. We use it. We make our own craft cereal. Not the name brand Kraft, but
craft beer and stuff.
Right, yeah. Kraft has got to get on the page and change his name to something else because it gets confusing. They say I want a craft beer. Guy said Kraft doesn't make beer. I said, what are you talking about? I'm not talking about the brand that makes cheese and stuff. Yeah. I mean, craft, like Craftsman, the artisan beer.
Exactly.
Exactly. Craft beer.
One interesting fact about honey is that honey never spoils. It's ageless. It's timeless. Just like our good buddy Anthony North. How you doing, Anthony?
Hey, Ricardo. I'm great. That's right. Timeless as it gets. I don't know about craft beers. I drink Bud, but whatever makes people happy these days. If it's craft mayonnaise or craft mustard, in their beer, then by all means, all the condiments I think are welcome.
Personally, I think Kraft doesn't make beer.
That's a bad idea.
No, I'm telling you, you get Kraft to make craft beer. You maybe get you because all these craft beers have all those weird flavors like tangerines and apricot and hibiscus and stuff like that. We get a Kraft macaroni and cheese beer. People love Kraft macaroni and cheese. Now you get it in a beer. It'd be the best thing ever if you ask me. I mean, I'm not gonna drink it. I mean, I like my fine wines and fine cognacs and scotches. But you beer lovers, you might like your Kraft macaroni and cheese beer. That's what I'm thinking.
What on earth are you talking about? Nobody on this planet is gonna have a macaroni and cheese beer. But
man, I've seen some weird beers, Tommy.
Yes.
I've seen some people come up with some weird beers. I don't know. Somebody might like it. I mean, Anthony would probably throw it at somebody's face, for even handing it to him, which I completely respect that. Completely respect that, Anthony. I respect such a choice.
Well, when somebody comes up with some ridiculous idea like craft macaroni beer, I think you do deserve to have the beer thrown in your face. There's no other way about it. That's the normal response. When I'm at the Dodgers game and people are walking around trying to sell me apricot flavored pretzel beer, all I do is just toss the beer in their face and ask for another. The ushers usually come right down. They apologize. They're good folks, out there in LA. But craft macaroni beer, what's next?
Hey, everybody knows Anthony North loves his Budweiser. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I think that on to this point, I think there's a lot of broadcasters that like their beers too, if you know what I'm saying.
Definitely.
And that leads me into something that's been on my mind because, this week, we had someone. I'm cautious to name names here.
Oh, yeah.
But somebody in Detroit, former player, broadcaster, made his version of an Asian voice when a particular Asian player came up to the plate. And I'll say this is what's confusing to me, is whenever somebody says an Asian voice or Asian accent, it's like Asia is huge. Like, right? People get offended when you say, oh, he's doing a European voice or European accent. I mean, are we talking Iceland? Or are we talking Greece? I mean, there's like 1,000 or more different ethnic people in Europe. And Europe is a fraction of the size of Asia.
Exactly.
So, what do we mean here? Asia's got India. It's got China. I mean, it's got Russia, Iran. I mean, these are all very different people.
Exactly. Exactly. And and what more or less they're going for that stereotypical 1920, 1940 jingoist, stereotype. They're doing, all this stuff like you see like in that one movie, that Mickey Rourke, that movie. You know what I'm talking about, where he dressed up as the stereotypical Japanese. I can't remember the name of the movie. Somebody tell me it was the Tiffany thing.
The Diamond movie.
Something like that. And this is the stereotype that everybody wants to sandwich, Asian people into.
But the Asian people are not known for sandwiches.
I mean, they got sandwiches.
But they got the banh mi. The banh mi. Yeah. You go to banh mi. They got banh mi.
You got bread and you got meat in the middle. It's a sandwich. That's why, but that's a completely different subject. We ain't gonna go down there. We had a whole discussion about that. We ain't gonna do that right now.
But they don't. For the record, outside of Vietnam, there's no real Asian sandwich that's known around the world.
It's neither here nor there, Tommy. I'm just saying everybody's going through the stereotype. And they're getting shuffled into the stereotype. How about that? They're getting pushed and corralled into a stereotype.
Yeah.
And that's what's bad.
But you can't use the cow reference because India is part of Asia and the cow is considered sacred. So let's use some other type of term here.
It's shuffled, didn't Tommy, I can't censor every single thing perfectly into to not offend everybody.
Yeah, now you're making the argument of the broadcaster that makes some racist remark.
But they're doing that on purpose. I mean, I'm doing mine accidentally. They did that purposefully.
Maybe they. And I'm not justifying them, but maybe they grew up in a racist home. They don't know any better, and I would not justify that. My argument is that they need to be re-educated and taken out behind the barn and shown a few things.
And we can do that. I mean, I know Anthony would do it. Anthony, he's a hard man. He's a hard man.
Yeah, Anthony, what's your take on all these broadcasters? A year ago, there was another guy that goes by the name of Thom B. I'm going to say his name. But, he made a homophobic reference to Kansas City, which I don't know any connection to what's going on in his mind, but, a year off and I don't know what now he's doing, he's broadcasting on some dial-up connection in frickin' Covington, Kentucky about Cincinnati high school baseball games. I mean, that guy got sent down more than the minors. Remember when they used to have the Pioneer Leagues, in baseball? This is worse than the Pioneer Leagues in broadcasting. So what's your take on all this stuff?
Well, I mean, there's a common denominator here, right? I mean, you talk about what things you passed down from your ancestors. I mean, look at the guys who are getting blasted on television for making these comments. I mean, these aren't exactly the most cultured men we've ever seen, right? They're children of bigots, right? I mean, look at Tom Brenneman, Marty Brenneman. I could go.
Be careful who we're calling out here, but go ahead.
I think you can look back and you can take a few pages out of the book and figure this all out. But when we have these older Caucasian males, right? Sometimes things slip. They don't realize that people don't necessarily think the way they do. I think that's why when they don't even really apologize. They're sorry you're offended, but they don't apologize. I mean, this is normal culture. They just forget sometimes that they're not broadcasting to 4 people. They're actually on television. But when you're sitting at the game and you're making a couple of comments to your friends, I mean, that's what these guys think they're doing, right? But nowadays, everything's on the internet. Everyone knows about it. I don't know if anyone that's, really surprised. It's just a matter of time before I think everyone takes a step back and they realize you can't just give the mic to a famous person's kid. Or, a guy maybe that can pitch 10 shutout innings in a World Series. That doesn't mean he should be an announcer. Just because he's good at playing the game doesn't mean he has a clue. That's the real story behind, I think, all of this.
Yeah. But here's the thing. I don't know that maybe it's the whole nepotism thing. And you can be passing around the genes, this what to do and all this stuff. And the days when guys didn't get in trouble. because people were too afraid to call people out. I don't know, whatever the story was. But I think going back to my original point, these guys getting snookered. And I knew some guys. What was the guy's name? He's Brian Dominga. I think that was who the guy was. This is back in old Pittsburgh days, a long time ago. And he used to call Pirates games, and he would call from a bar. He called from a bar, like across. They would freaking string cable across the street and stop cars from running over the damn thing. While he was, slumping down French fries covered in gravy and knocking Yingling after Yingling. Not to call it Yingling, that's a good beer. But, it's what they're drinking up there in the Pennsylvania regions. So but he was knocking them back, and he was calling the baseball game, watching it on TV. And they would pretend like he was in the booth. And nobody knew anything wiser. They weren't televising the games back then. So, they were encouraging. Baseball is a drinking culture, at least the commentators. And that doesn't give these guys an excuse. It means they got to clean up their act. I mean, there's some guys. I mean, I used to broadcast guys that you wouldn't realize, man. These guys, I had talked to them a couple of years later. We're calling games with them for 10 years, and they don't even remember me. Like, that's how bad it got. They were like, they were the rock stars of their day. They just could do anything. They'd go up to the hotel rooms afterwards. And I know there's family-friendly shows. You can't really see what they were doing. But these guys weren't family guys. But on their radio, they were pretending to be, and they were kicking back the drinks, and they were saying stuff. I mean, look, there's the guy, the Oklahoma guy. Was blamed. He said some awful racist stuff. Well, about a year ago. Calling games from Norman, Oklahoma. I mean, maybe, it's Oklahoma Nation, which is going to be, that's SEC now. So that's going to be good, big time. He blamed it all from having a diabetic incident. Like, he said,
I remember that, Tommy. And the thing that annoys me about lots of these people that, do this stuff is that they never take true responsibility. Like Anthony was saying, they want to blame it. Oh, my blood sugar was spiking when he said something overly racy. I was on Ambien. I'm sorry you were offended. I didn't know I couldn't say that. I'm like, come on, people. We are in 2021 now, and this has not been good since, we hit the double aughts, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, none of this has been good. And it wasn't proper before that. It's just people got away with it a little bit more. They do like they sign like a written statement saying, oh, I'm sorry about blah, 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 they're able to get away with it. But all I'm trying to say is that, you're a broadcaster. Your job is to broadcast and tell the game. You can tell stories. You can give some of your opinion here and there, but mainly about the sports. And if you're offended about something you see and you want to shoot people down about that, if it ain't a bad play or something like that, you're just in the wrong. You're just a bad person, in my opinion.
Right? Yeah. It should be about the sport. Not about like this crazy name calling people stuff.
Exactly.
And the thing about this guy, the sugar spike guy. I mean, that's a defense that was used back in the 70s. A guy taking out people in San Francisco politics, taking out gay guys, the Twinkie thing. Yeah, I know.
We're not getting into that one, Tom.
But here's the thing. I mean, they're blaming that whole thing on Twinkies. The Twinkie defense, the term came out of that. You know how many people eat Twinkies across the country? I mean, we're talking about people of all different backgrounds. Usually it's the poor people. Let's be honest. Usually poor people see a Twinkie, they got to grab like 5 of them, and they get real big and heavy. And listen, I got myself some weight on me. I'm a bit of a chubby guy. So I'm not body shaming these people. But what I'm saying is, remember, it was Mayor Bloomberg in New York. I mean, it was banning the big sodas and stuff like that. You know why? Because he was afraid that all these people were going to turn like evil and aggressive. And if you had New York overrun by like big people, you like big slobs are running over, they're knocking over buildings, like they're freaking the big lizard guy from Japan, and starts like taking people hostage and climbing on top of the buildings that could hold their weight, and stuff like that, and holding up subways. Then there's a big problem because that's a big issue. And like I said, I'm not here to body shame. I'm just saying maybe there's a fear that the whole sugar spike thing is going to be used by a lot of people to get away with some bad stuff, and I don't think that's right.
No, I mean it's not right, Tommy. You're dead on. If you can blame racist comments on a Twinkie, I'm not too sure what you can't get away with, because I eat a Twinkie every night, but I somehow manage to be a respectful human being the next day, and it's a hard thing sometimes. You get a little upset. Maybe your team's losing. Maybe you're getting you're getting a little bit in your feelings, and the next thing here it comes, and that's the end of your career. So maybe I'm not sure if the answer is we ban Twinkies at sporting events. Or maybe we just replace them. All right, Kraft is a good brand. They don't make Twinkies, but they do make a great mac and cheese. So let's just give everybody mac and cheese when they're in the broadcast booth. Stay away from the Twinkies
and the alcoholic beverages.
And the alcoholic beverages.
You get you a nice macaroni and cheese, a nice tea, maybe a good, maybe a 3-piece white or a 3-piece mixed, something like that. And it makes your blood sugar, it puts that an even thing. We banned Ambien from everybody that's in the bar.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah.
And we make we just
Ambien makes people racist, like really bad.
Yeah, I think a lot of people have done that. They're they blame the Ambien. Like I was saying earlier. Here's
a thought. Here's a thought. What if we gave everybody Ambien across the country, and then let them talk publicly, and then see who all the racists were, and then ship them off to some other, put them out to sea or something. I don't know.
Tommy, it'd be like those those videos. My niece was showing me, the videos of the people that have the wisdom teeth and taken out. They got the anesthesia. And they're saying all the weird stuff. I would laugh so hard. I'm on the floor laughing every time my niece shows me them videos. She shows me on the tablet thingy.
That's probably why racist people, a lot of them don't have a lot of teeth, because they're afraid to go to the dentist, because they're afraid the dentist is recording them, and they're gonna catch them saying some racist stuff and get them fired from their jobs.
There's a big possibility, Tommy. Big possibility. Hey so all I'm saying is that we have to institute the anesthesia Ambien test to any broadcaster to see if they're fit for broadcasting. And that's the end of the game. Thanks for clicking. I'm Ricardo Longus with Tommy Crenshaw and Anthony North, TTFN.